today I'm going to do a very quick update on Jane because on Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday the 19th of March, she turned 15 months old. And we also went to the doctor this month for a checkup, so I also have stats on that. I probably sound like a broken record, but I have a cold, which I mentioned in a few other videos, so that's probably why I sound like nasally and gross, so I apologize for that, but I wanted to get this out of the way so you guys can know what she's been up to for the past month. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing I have written down is the day that she turned 15 months old, she started to have separation anxiety at nighttime. Now, Jane is very outgoing and she loves people, so she doesn't have separation anxiety or like stranger danger or anything like that when we are out of the house. So like when we're going to church and stuff, she doesn't mind being left in the nursery. She loves other kids to play with them, so she doesn't have separation anxiety then, but she started having separation anxiety at night when we would put her to bed, where we're in the habit of rocking her to sleep, which is probably a bad habit anyways that we were trying to break before, but we would rock her to sleep and normally we could just lay her down and leave. But no matter how long she'd been asleep with us rocking her, as soon as we would stand up or put her down into the crib, she would pop her eyes open and start screaming and not want us to leave. So it never happened at nap time, so I kind of thought maybe it was because she was scared of the dark maybe, so we got her a nightlight. And it's gotten better throughout the month. The beginning of the month was just really hard, and we were trying to let her cry it out a little bit, but I didn't want her to cry for too long because I didn't want her to associate us leaving every night with like a horrible crying session. So we're at the point now, Chris usually puts her to bed, so she's been doing pretty good, and he has kind of like a routine going on, and so he's on a 5-day streak of no crying, so he's like super proud of that and happy. So we're just working on that. Let's see what else. Oh, she started to be a little bit of a picky eater. I'm not sure why, but she used to love vegetables and would eat pretty much any vegetable, but now she only has a select few that she likes, and some other foods that she liked before she started not to like now. I don't know if it's because she realizes there's better food out there, but at this point I kind of let her be picky. I don't want her to starve, and once she gets a little bit older where she can understand if you don't eat then you're gonna be hungry, I'll make the rule to where you need to eat whatever's on your plate, that's what you're getting. But right now I put stuff on her plate, and if she ends up not eating it, I try to give her something else to fill her stomach. And we still try to explore and try new foods. But right now I'm noticing that she's starting to get a little bit picky, which worries me a little bit, but I was a picky eater and now I'm not, so I hope maybe she just does that. She's really into shutting doors now, and she obviously doesn't know how to open them. She's actually really tall for her age, so she can reach the doorknobs, which means I'll probably have to get the little door knob baby proof thing soon. Sorry, my nose is driving me crazy right now. Anyways, so she can shut the door, and then she ends up screaming because she can't get the door back open. She shuts the door on the dogs all the time, and she loves shutting it, but then whines to get it open. So that's just a new thing that she's liking. She has said, I think, 4 new words this month. So she says bye-bye, and a lot of times she just says bye. We try to get her to say it, but this is one of the words where she only says on her own. So I can ask her to say other words and she'll say them, but bye-bye in particular she only says when she wants to say it. So anytime I'm on the phone with Chris or anybody else, as soon as I try to tell her to say bye to them, she doesn't say it, and then as soon as I say bye, then she bye. So she copies that. And then today we were at Target and we were just walking away. I didn't say bye to the guy or anything, and she just went bye-bye. So it's super cute. She knows what it means. And what's another word? Oh, she says go, and she knows it's usually go, go, and she says it when she's pushing her stroller. She'll say go, go, go. Or if we're about to leave, we'll say, we're getting ready to go, or she'll run to the door. And she says go a lot. Like when we're in the stroller, if she wants the stroller to be pushed, she'll say go. Trying to think. She just randomly says it a lot too. She said go, go, go. So it's super cute. Another word she says is hi. She doesn't say that one as much right now. She said it a few times, but I think she's saying hey more. And she'll like turn the corner. If I'm in a different room, she'll turn the corner and she'll go hey. And I don't know if it's just her saying hey. She doesn't know what it means, but it is so funny. And she says hey a lot actually. So I think that's her version of hi. But she doesn't really say it like when we see anybody. She's not like hi or whatever. So that's probably something that she'll be working on this next month. And then another word that she picked up is ball, and she says it all of the time. And that's one of the ones I can ask her and say like, "What's this?" And I hold up the ball, and she says ball, ball. So that's one that she says a lot. And I think she can almost say balloon. She's been obsessed with balloons lately, and our pediatrician told us that a lot of words you might not notice that they're saying because they only say the first syllable of it, and they'll drop the second half of the word. So she says what sounds like balloon to me. It sounds more like ball than balloon, but it sounds different than ball, and I can't really even explain how it sounds, but I'm pretty sure she says balloon too, but I'm not going to count that as a word that she says quite yet. But she also likes to copy words. So if we ask her to say, like, we'll go through like a book, and if there's colors, I'll say blue, and she'll try to say the words, but it's not anything that she would necessarily know later. Like if I pick the book back up, if I would say like, what color is that? She wouldn't say blue again, but she tries. And I know that she said blue one time after I asked her to say it. She said purple one time when I asked her to say it. So we're working on that, and that is one of the things that we're doing right now is we have little picture books with animals and babies in them and colors and shapes, and I just go through and she points, and one of her words still is what's that? She asks what's that for everything, and so she'll point and say what's that? What's that? And I'll just say what it is, and I'll ask her to say it. Most of the time she doesn't, but I know that she's taking in all the information, and soon I'm sure she'll say the words. But she knows ball, she knows dog. She doesn't say dog still, she says woof woof though. And then she says baby to every kid on the page. And then she tries to copy other words that we say. Another really cute thing that she does is she loves music. And so anytime, I'm pretty sure, because we live in Austin, Texas, and there are bands all the time, like live music at restaurants and just out and about. And so I don't know how she picked this up, but every time a song is over, she goes, woo, and claps her hands. And a lot of times she doesn't even clap her hands. She'll just go, woo. Like, you know, when you're cheering after a song, she just does that after every song. And it doesn't matter if it's a live band or not. But she, like, we'll be riding in the car, and I'll swear she's asleep back there. And the song will end, and then I'll hear her go, woo! It's so funny. And then also, like, we'll be in a store, and you know how stores have, like, the background music or whatever that they play. And it's so faint, and a lot of times you don't even notice that it's there. And then she'll go, woo! And then I'll notice that the song that was playing quietly in the store was over. So she has an ear for music, and she loves music, and it's just the cutest thing. I think I'm saying everything is cute, but my child's cute, I can't help it. She knows where her head is. I think I mentioned last month she knows where her nose is and her belly button. But she learned head, and she loves to do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. She learned that off of a TV show. So she does head really good. And she doesn't really know knees and toes. She kind of just like squats down. So I'm not going to count that as something that she knows. But she learned head, and she's learning eye, but I'm not going to say that she quite knows eye very well. And I'm pretty sure she knows mouth because she puts stuff in her mouth all the time, and she'll like run over to me, and I'll notice that there might be something in her mouth, and I'll say, what's in your mouth? And she kind of like touches her mouth. So, but if I ever ask her where her mouth is, she doesn't show me. So I don't know. She's learning these really, really well. Oh, she tries to sing songs, especially the ABCs. She has a few toys that sing the ABCs, and she likes to sing along. And really, she just says E, 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 E. So I could just tell that she's like, she knows what's going on. She knows the song. So that's something that she's doing this month as well. And the last thing I have on here is that she finally pooped in the tub. And I know that you're probably thinking like, finally, like that is so gross and weird. But I've always heard about babies pooping in the tub. And I was like, I don't know why. I just always figured it would happen a lot earlier. And I like, it wasn't every time I was giving her a bath, but I was always waiting for the day when she was going to poop in the tub, because it's gross and I obviously didn't want it to happen. But like, she was never pooping in the tub. So I was like, oh, she'll never poop in the tub or whatever. And Chris was actually in there with me one night, and we were just playing music and playing with Jane and everything. And then all of a sudden she pooped in the tub, and we both freaked out. We're laughing. Chris was taking pictures while I was trying to get her out of the tub. And so that was her first poop in the tub experience. But then the very next night she pooped in the tub again. So she pooped in the tub twice this month, back-to-back nights. So we've got that out of the way. Hopefully it won't happen again. I'm sure it will until she's potty trained. But that was an adventure, to say the least. And then also we went to the pediatrician, like I said, for her update. Last time we went was 12 months, so I was curious to see what percentile she would be in for her height and her weight and her head, and then what the pediatrician had to say, as well as she had to get 3 shots. And we were happy because these were the last shots she has to get until she's 4 years old. So that was good news. I'm actually going to get the paper that says what her stats were. It's right here. No, that's not it. This is it. And then also I'm going to get this little book is what I write in. I think I've mentioned before, months 1 through 12, I wrote her updates on my blog, which if you want to go see my blog, it's Taylor. It's taylorjenner.blogspot.com. And I still update on there. But as far as her updates, I did 1 through 12 there, and then I'm doing obviously her updates now on here on YouTube, but I also wrote them in this little book so I can give it to Jane when she's older and she can just read about all the things that she did, and then there's stuff about the pregnancy as well. Also, her Nana wrote in here when she watched her while we were on vacation once, so it's just fun to see what's in here. But I'm going to look at month 12 to see how much she weighed and stuff because I can't remember. Okay, so as far as length, Jane is 33 inches tall at 15 months, which is in 100th percentile. Now, last time we checked, she was 31.25 inches tall, and that was at 1 year old, and she was in the 90th percentile. And then when we went to the doctor this time, the nurse asked, she was like, this is 15 months, right? Like, she was confused, and I was like, yeah. And she was like, wow, she's really tall, like without even measuring her. And then when we went to go measure her, she mentioned again, she was like super tall. And then when the doctor came in, she said again, she was like, she is really tall. She's now in the 100th percentile, and her words were, she's taller than all of the girls her age. So obviously that's what 100th percentile means. But I don't think, she didn't tell us what she predicted her height would be when she's older. I don't think they do that until maybe the 2-year checkup. But right now, she's obviously tall for her age. And I kind of knew that just from before, her being in the 90th percentile, and then I can just tell with like pants and stuff, they're like super short on her. She's already in 18-month clothing, and then the pants are already short. So I already kind of knew that. And then her weight, She was 23 pounds at her 1 year appointment, and this time she was 25 pounds, 8 ounces. And I kind of knew that as well because I had her stand on her scale here at home just because I was curious. So she's gained about 2 pounds in the last 3 months, and that is the 91st percentile, I think. Yes, 91st, and that's the same as it was last time as well. And she said, although that means she's heavier than most girls her age, it corresponds with the fact that she's taller as well. So she didn't want her to be in the 50th percentile or anything because that would mean she was too skinny. So she said she was happy with that. And then her head is in the, sorry, I'm looking down. Her head is in the 75th percentile. So it's pretty average for her height and her weight. So the doctor was happy with that, and she was happy that Jane has about 9 words now. She wanted to make sure she had at least 5 words. And everything else was good. She just asked me the other questions that they always ask, like other things they're doing. Is she turning pages of books? Yeah. Is she doing baby talk a lot? Yeah. And things like that. So our baby girl is growing. She's super tall. She's big. She's happy. She's funny. She's outgoing. Another thing she's doing this month is she's whining a lot. I think I mentioned that last time too, but she whines when she wants something, and I'm trying to break that habit. And I mentioned, I think twice before, we're trying to get her to say please when she wants something instead. But it seems like the whining is getting worse, and I don't know if that's because she knows she gets her way whenever she whines, or if she's just wanting more things. Leave in the comments below if you know what to do with your whining child or how to get them to not whine as much. I know that it's probably just a phase, and once she's able to explain exactly what she wants, and it'll probably be over with, and I'll be able to explain not to whine and to use your words. But right now, I'm just hoping that phase ends soon. Okay, well that is it for the update. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And Jane is now 15 months old, and she is learning new things every day. So I'll have another update for you when she turns 16 months old. Subscribe to my channel because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.